Hey everyone, welcome back with Being on Mac, where today we're going to continue our playthrough of Legends of Wrestling for the GameCube with Hulk Hogan.
It's the main event of the evening from Venice Beach, California, at a height of 6 feet 8 inches and weighing in at approximately 300 pounds. The man with the largest arms in the world, Hulk Hogan. Coming down the aisle from Pensacola, Florida, at a height of 6 feet and weighing in at approximately 230 pounds, Robert Gibson. And his opponent from Atlantic City, New Jersey, standing at 6 feet 4 inches and tipping the scales at an amazing 445 pounds. He is the master of the 5-count, King Kong Bundy.
Hey guys, like I said, welcome back. As you can see, we're going to be playing the Southwest Territory, and this is the final territory in the game that we have to go through before we are the champion of the United States. They couldn't go with the National Wrestling Alliance Championship belt or anything like that. So we're going to be the United States champion, and that's the farthest I've ever gotten, is winning the U.S. championship. I've never beaten this game. I've never gotten past the U.S. belt. I don't know if that's the final path or not, like I mentioned in the previous video and stuff like that, so we'll see what happens. I can't imagine there's anything other than that, but we'll see. And as you can tell, now we got like ourselves a three-way dance going on here, some of that action. I don't even think this stuff even happened back in the territories. I think it was just as simple as the singles and the tag team matches. I could be wrong. I'm just going based off of what I heard off of Jim Cornette. Apparently he said that he was the one who had the first three-way dance in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, which was like around the 90s and stuff. And you know, ECW would popularize it, then the WWF would have it, and I think WCW, I'm sure, had triple threat matches and stuff like that too, as well as fatal four-way. So apparently Jim Cornette says he created the match type and he regrets it because he said that it was terrible and there's never been a good triple threat match, and I disagree with him. I think there's been a lot of good triple threat matches. A lot of them, I think, were in the Ruthless Aggression era, like Triple H, Randy Orton, John Cena. I believe had one at WrestleMania. Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns also was at WrestleMania as well, and that was a pretty good one too. So they definitely have the ability to create some drama and stuff like that, but I definitely understand Jim Cornette's criticisms of the match, where he said, you know, it's pretty much just taking turns having one-on-one matches. And there's definitely times where people team up together and that whole ordeal and stuff. You know, I think another good one was DX, Shawn Michaels and Triple H taking on John Cena for the WWE Championship at Survivor Series 2009. That was a pretty cool one too. So I mean, there's definitely some good triple threat matches, and obviously, you know, the three-way dance between Super Crazy to Jerry and Nunzio has lots of acclaim and is considered to be one of the best ECW matches that that promotion has even ever had. So I don't know, I gotta disagree with Mr. Cornette on his take on it, but that said, what are you gonna do? Someone I was always surprised that never came back in WWE was Slick. I think he came back a few times. I guess he's actually like he's not a pastor, I think, maybe a reverend in real life, but it's weird to me, like he was someone who managed a lot of people back in the day. There's a lot of managers that were somewhat big deals during the 80s and stuff like that, back when managing was still a really big deal, you know, like the Grand Wizard, and was one during the territories that always sticks out to me because he's in Legends of Wrestling too. But Slick, I feel like, never really got any sort of game appearances or anything like that either, so I just kind of wonder what happened to him. It just seems like one of those characters that are forgotten. Armando Alejandro Estrada was one of my favorites. He was the guy who managed Umag at the beginning of his career, but I guess WWE just didn't think he was good for whatever reason. At least that's what Bruce Pritchard's take on it. I don't know. There's just times where like I especially loved it when it first came out, the Something Wrestle With podcast, but Bruce Pritchard has kind of gone on record saying some pretty crazy stuff over the last couple of years, and that's probably one of the craziest takes I've heard. I can't believe anybody would think that Alejandro Estrada or Armando Alejandro Estrada was not entertaining. Him just saying his name was one of the greatest manager lines I've heard. But it's too bad managers used to be kind of a big deal back in the day, and now they aren't. Which I guess back in around this time, managers really were just that. They weren't just a ringside character. They actually did a lot of stuff for wrestlers. Drove them places. I think they also helped negotiate contracts sometimes, is what I've heard anyway. But it's definitely a lost start. I mean, we still got some good ones like Paul Heyman. I mean, even just seeing some some of his matches and how he reacts to the match and stuff like that. It's over the top. He's definitely an over the top guy, but like he still is just so good with all his mannerisms, facial expressions, that old stuff. But we got to be careful here. I did not realize how close I was to losing by TKO. But hey, I mean, it's the classic Hulk Hogan formula. When it comes crashing down and hurts inside, I gotta be a man, and I can't let it slide. That is one of the best songs of all time in WWE. Which is crazy because it wasn't even his song originally. If you didn't know, it was actually, I forget who the guys in the team were, but it was like I think the American Express or something like that. Not the Rock and Roll Express, I don't think, but it was something like, the US Express, I think it was. And then they eventually gave it to Hulk Hogan. But back in the day, it wasn't totally uncommon for wrestlers to have recycled themes. Like Kurt Angle, obviously that belonged to the Patriot Wilkes first before it came to Kurt Angle. There's a lot of recycled songs in the Attitude Era.
Ring the bell!
But looks like we've successfully made our comeback here, folks, and that was a pretty decent match, I would say. So let's see how far our meter's filled. What? Minimal combos? I hate that. Yeah, as you can see, it just takes a lot longer to fill up at this point, the meter, so it's going to be a minute before we get our championship match.
His opponent from Krakow, Poland, towering in at 5 feet 10 inches and weighing in at approximately 245 pounds, Ivan Putski. Chicago, Illinois, towering in at 6 feet 3 inches and weighing in at approximately 275 pounds, Road Warrior, Hulk. And his opponent, hailing from Memphis, Tennessee, towering in at 6 feet and weighing in at approximately 235 pounds, Jerry the King Lawler.
Man, a fatal four-way match too. That's pretty cool, but I don't know. My issue is we already had Ivan Putski like twice last episode, and I feel like I've already fought Hawk a few times too. This is the first time I'm fighting Jerry Lawler. I think he was my tag partner, the one tag team match that we've had. I don't know why there's like no tag matches this whole run. Maybe it's something we'll have later on, but I'm kind of glad. Honestly, I'm kind of glad that we don't have many tag matches because they're by far the least fun matches to play in this game. They were the worst in freaking Attitude. It was, I mean, you guys have seen me play that. You guys have seen me play the matches in Attitude, the tag matches, to where like it's just I'm waiting for the perfect opportunity to where like they enter the apron, then they like step off the apron, stuff like that. You know, it's just all about like timing, and it's a real pain in the ass, and it's even worse in this game. And the whole cheat system is just so lame. I don't feel like they did the tag matches correctly in the Acclaim games, personally. But yeah, I don't know. It seems weird. Like it feels like we're fighting a lot of guys that we've already fought, more so than any other territory. So I don't know if that's like the theme of this territory, the Southwest, or if they really just ran out of guys. Because I thought the whole point of this was there were like specific guys in specific territories. And, you know, that was kind of like the theme of it, you know. But maybe, I don't know, I guess I was giving them too much credit with that. So it's probably, there's not really any exclusive guys in these territories. It's actually pretty cool, though. I give them credit for this. Having managers in 4-man matches, you know, to have 8 characters on screen, potentially 8 characters on screen at one time, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. I feel like that's something that nobody really talks about. And like I said in the previous episode, it's so weird that they had like all those built-in match types from Attitude and ECW games, and they got rid of them in this game. That's just crazy to me. And but in the sequel they have like 8-man tag matches, and that's pretty awesome too. So for as much crap as this game gets, or this whole series gets, it's pretty incredible that they were able to have 8-man tag matches. Which I think Just Bring It had that stuff first, but obviously like that was, the graphics weren't too much better, I feel like, than the PS1 games. So obviously they had the benefit of that. And then we would also see that the WWE games in general would just get better graphically over time on the PS2. So I feel like there was just never anything that could do about that as far as adding more models on screen. Although I don't even know what the hell was going on with the weapons a second ago. And as you can see too, I mean, we had to change back to our primary outfit because last episode, once again, you will see that all the textures on my alternate outfit. You know, I tried like a few times to get it to work. It just ain't working, folks. So this is the outfit we're going to be stuck with for the rest of the game. And we have a chance here if we can do it. God damn it, no. No! He's wasting time. I gotta hit him with the finisher, the leg drop. God damn it, he's kicking my ass. Oh, damn it, and we lost it. This is not going my way. I don't like it when things aren't going my way. You got me mad now. Speaking of which, why wasn't Jumpin' Jeff Farmer in this game? I wonder nobody liked this game series. I feel like some underrated attires too that nobody talks about is Jerry Lawler's. Because to me, it kind of reminds me of like the Shawn Michaels outfits, to where it's a simple design that works for his character so well, and then like you can just change the colors and it just looks so cool no matter what color palette it is. You know, Shawn Michaels, primarily it felt like, you know, well, he switched it up. It felt like for the longest time, you know, he kind of primarily went with like the red designs and a little bit of the white in his early career when he was the Heartbreak Kid, but obviously he had like the black ones. I think the SummerSlam, I think it was 1994 where they had the rematch, or no, 1995 with the rematch with the ladder match with Razor Ramon, and that was just a sick outfit with the blue, and he had, I think eventually he would get the beard and stuff like that. Shawn Michaels had some of the best attires of any wrestler. And then of course you got freaking Jerry the King Lawler here with his, usually he had like the black singlet with the red, I don't know, I'll just call them the red pants and stuff like that were really cool. But you know, this design too is really awesome. You know, the blue and the white. Definitely an underrated design. I think that most people don't really talk about it as much. because it's just, you know, Jerry Lawler was obviously on top back in, you know, the territory days, of course, you know. So by the time he became, you know, an on-screen character in WWE, obviously he was way past his prime. Apparently he was not very well liked in WWE when he first came in, because apparently he had a really big issue with everybody taking a shit in his crown. And like, I think at first, like, Kurt Hennig started it, you know, Mr. Perfect, and I think it was because of a personal issue between the two of them. And then eventually I think it was just people were taking turns just taking shits in his crown every night. And it's just, oh God, that's disgusting. But yeah, apparently a lot of people didn't like him. I think there was even rumors that a lot of people didn't like Brian Christopher. I could be wrong, because there were rumors of somebody, I think like the Acolytes. Man, I can't pronounce anything right. The Acolytes. But the Acolytes, Bradshaw and Farouk, I think maybe it was just Bradshaw, but like I remember a few guys in the WWF, apparently they stripped someone naked and tied him up, and I think I heard they may have even shoved something up his ass. I don't know if I believe that part, but apparently they got someone naked and tied them up and stuff like that, and like just humiliated them and stuff like that. And I think they never really released the name, I guess, but like I've heard a rumor that like it was Brian Christopher and stuff, and I guess they were hazing him, and it got to the point where he was crying and stuff like that. And I don't know how true that is, but yeah, apparently like he even had like a pretty distant relationship with his son, Brian Christopher. Obviously Brian Lawler was his name, and because I think when Brian Christopher came in, a lot of people were like, oh, well, he's Jerry Lawler's son, so he gets special treatment, yada yada, so people were pissed off at him, and I think that's why they may have done it. Once again, this is just rumor and speculation. I don't really know. I mean, I'd have to look up the story again, or somebody in the comments below would have to kind of, you know, specify or, you know, bring me up to speed, or, you know, for the good of all of us here. But I know they also mess with a referee and as well, so just for fun, I guess, like, or something like that. I don't know. There was a lot of ribs back in the day used to be extremely crazy, right? Like Owen Hart, you know, you always hear about how he had the good ones where it's just kind of like harmless stuff for the most part. Honestly, one of his best was, good lord, the weapon physics in this game. But obviously, one of the best ones was when it was like the swap match or something like that with Triple H and one of the Godwins, and they had like pigs as a part of the match. And Owen Hart apparently seen the guy unloading the pigs and asked where they're supposed to go, and Owen Hart told the guy to put him in Vince McMahon's office, and that's just an awesome rib. Mr. Fuji apparently used to be like the worst ribber ever, and I don't know, like apparently for him, like killing your fucking dog was like a rib. But then he would, like, I think he got pissed off because somebody, like, he was asleep or something like that, and somehow somebody like strapped him to a boat and like had it like floating in the river with him in it and stuff like that, and I guess he was pissed off about it. So I guess he could not dish it out. He could dish it out, but he could not take it, so I don't know. Mr. Fuji seems like he's kind of an asshole too, but yeah, I guess Jerry Lawler, obviously, he's also had issues with minors, which I guess have gone, you know, he hasn't been convicted or anything like that, so it's just alleged and all that sort of stuff. But apparently Jerry Lawler is someone who has definitely been in trouble with the law every now and then, and issues with his spouses and issues with minors and stuff like that, allegedly. And a lot of people say since he was, you know, the Tennessee hero and stuff, that he may have gotten away with things he shouldn't have, but who's to really say? Because I mean, there's also other people saying that he was a pretty great guy and all this other stuff, and one of the chillest people you'll ever meet. And I've seen an interview of that, of just how nice he seems even under stress and stuff like that, like heckling and stuff to really say, you know. but we got an Ivan Putski in the dirt.
And his opponent from Omaha, Nebraska, standing at 6 feet 3 inches and tipping the scales at an amazing 245 pounds, Ted DiBiase. And coming down the aisle from Bombay, India, standing at 6 feet and weighing in at 220 pounds. He is the human highlight reel, the suicidal, homicidal, genocidal Sabu. And his opponent from Memphis, Tennessee, standing at 6 feet and weighing in at 235 pounds, Jerry the King Lawler.
See, we got all these repeats, man. I mean, we got 2 new ones. We got DiBiase and Sabu. That's pretty cool. You know, rest in peace, Sabu. Jerry Lawler. You know, he probably heard what I was talking about. that I was talking about him a minute ago. So he had to jump in this 3-way dance and make it a 4-way dance at some point. So I don't know. It is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me what you think in the comments below. I mean, honestly, I'm not talking about like his less than PC comments in which, like, you know, it was, because people would complain during the Attitude Era, the stuff he says. That's just how it was at the time, you know. He just went hand in hand with the whole diva stuff and the sex appeal and all that sort of stuff, and making the goofy comments, you know, the puppies. I don't know. I understand why some people don't like it, but it's just, once again, it was a product of its time. I think the women's stuff was, you know, boring and lame, and all that other stuff back then. Yeah, but you know, to me, if I didn't have to use the bathroom, or if I didn't have anything better to do, I think just Jerry Lawler's stupid, you know, childish comments at least made it entertaining half the time. But like, I think a lot of people took that as like, oh man, what a perv, what a pig. I feel like it was mostly his character at that point, not really him as a person, but who's to really say. But even people were pissed off because of the whole, I think some like Asian wrestler one time did like a moonsault or something like that in WWE, and Jerry Lawler referred to it as like the ramen noodle splash or something stupid like that. And it's like, stuff like that is just so stupid. Like, how can you be offended by that? But like I said, I can't speak for people. But I don't know, it's just, that stuff's kind of goofy to me. But I don't know, like I said, I wasn't talking about that stuff, but like the stuff I mentioned before about, you know, like all the issues, and like, you guys think that Jerry Lawler got away with a lot of crimes during his career because he was like the, you know, the man in Tennessee and, you know, the celebrity there and stuff like that? Or do you think that a lot of that stuff happened, like, you know, the kids and saying that he did some inappropriate things to him, and, you know, him getting like punished for things that maybe other promoters did or something like that? Do you think that the kids just kind of said that stuff just, you know, for attention, or because he was a celebrity and wanted to target him, or wanted money or something like that? Or do you think that Jerry Lawler is a pretty bad person? It's really tough to say, because obviously, you know, I wasn't there. I don't really know the stories of the details. But I just kind of watched a really good video on like all the controversial stuff that he's done. One of the craziest things though with Jerry Lawler is the time he had like the heart attack on Raw. I actually remember watching that live, and that was a pretty freaky thing at first, because like I thought it was like a storyline at first, and then, you know, things got pretty crazy pretty quick. I was kind of worried it was going to be like another Owen Hart type of situation. But thankfully, you know, at least in this case, you know, he was fine. And I think even to this day, Jerry Lawler is still wrestling. I guess he's in really good shape. Although I think he probably should take a trick from Triple H's book, and since he had that heart attack, I think he may have even had another one. Well, he was having sex or something with his wife. Poor guy. And yeah, I mean, I guess that would have been the best way to go out theoretically, but it's the way every man wishes he could go out. But yeah, I think he should take a page from Triple H's book and probably put up the boots for good, just to be safe. I mean, Ric Flair has this issue too. It seems like, I mean, nobody wants to see anybody die in the ring. You know what I mean? Ric Flair says that would be the best thing. That's how he would want to go and stuff. I mean, come on, man. Imagine how that's really how you want to go. People ruining an entire an evening for people. He probably thinks it's like be some crazy good spectacle or something like that. So wait, what? I somehow broke up the pin, but he still got eliminated? I'll take it, I guess. But jeez, now I can't remember what I was talking about. Oh yeah, Ric Flair dying in the ring. I think he said he wanted to do that one time. It's like, why would you want to do that? You're supposed to be there to entertain the folks, and he's probably thinking it'd be like some crazy thing, like he died doing what he loved, and yeah, for him that'd be, but like it'd be horrifying and traumatizing for everybody else that would be in there. The guy he's in the ring with, the guy who set up the, who allowed him to wrestle if they did in that state. All the fans in attendance. That wouldn't be something. Nobody would be like, oh man, I was at Ric Flair's last match and I saw him die. That was the coolest thing ever. Unless if you're a real huge asshole, but I don't know. There are some weird people out there, so who knows? Maybe they would. Alright, so we got another win in the books here, folks. Let's see, is this going to be enough for us to move on to the championship match? God damn, minimal combos. Oh yeah, we're getting our championship match up next. Let's see who it is. Hopefully it's not someone we've already fought. Son of a bitch. Fucking Hawk again? Alright, how is he the champion? I beat him on the path here. How does this keep happening? God damn it, that's kind of anticlimactic. But because of that, I'll make sure that this one is taken care of quick. There we go, we got the reversal bonus. Okay, maybe this isn't going to be quick. Ooh yeah, that's right. God damn it. That's the thing about this series. It's like, god damn it. That's the thing. Oh, damn it. See, that's the thing that sucks. I would have completed Legends of Wrestling 2 a few times if it wasn't for just in the later territories as the game goes on. Like, it's natural that the difficulty gets higher. I get that. But man, like, it's just like, I remember in Legends of Wrestling 2, like, I was in the last territory and they would like reverse 10 times in a row, and like I would always bear the brunt of it too, because even if I reverse and I quote unquote won that exchange, I lose half my health like I have in this, because it's just constant like battering, from just like taking damage from the reversal itself. But got the high spot bonus. Looks like that might be the case for this too, but maybe we can power through. And I don't care. Once we play Legends of Wrestling 2, I gotta beat that game at least once, because I love that game. Never been able to beat that one either. And it's just so much better with the presentation, the music, the outfits, the storylines, even if they're minimal. Like, there's no cutscenes, but actually there is. You talk to the promoters, but it really is so much a much better time. And obviously the gameplay's been refined a lot more. Plus the music is just, the music is so amazing. And Legends of Wrestling 2, probably one of my favorite wrestling game soundtracks, as far as licensed music goes, anyway. Alright, let's use some weapons to chip his health down a lot more. Although it seems like weapons aren't doing as much damage as they usually do, but it's probably just because I don't pay attention much. Nice try. And you know that they definitely built this stuff off of Attitude and ECW, like I mentioned earlier, because they have like the recovery attacks, where they, you know, try and do the quick chop when they get back up. So, yeah, I just don't understand why they removed all the great features they had in those games. Especially imagine like if they create a ring too, man, that would have been awesome. But like I said, Legends of Wrestling 2, I think it redeems this game a lot more, and I don't know, I've definitely had a lot of fun playing the series. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Not as good as I remember, you know, nostalgia had you know, has its part to play here, but definitely a fantastic time. I need one. God, what he is. Gotta say, I do love this ring design too. I don't really know what the entrance area is supposed to be though. It looks so weird to me. I'm surprised this game didn't have like any sort of like backstage areas. Like I know it didn't fit with the territories and stuff like that, but I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't really fit in the territories in this game. Spine buster. God, gee whiz. Feels like anytime I try and do any sort of normal moves, he likes to reverse. My OCD brain still wants me to do all the freaking. I'm like fighting not to like run into the ref and stuff like that, because you know I feel like it's like a checklist type thing. So like I feel like alright, I gotta do the match here. I gotta run into the ref. I gotta get the match excitement all the way up, even though I don't need it because this is the championship match, obviously. So, well, there goes the ref. But I think obviously we've seen that like even if the referee is knocked out, you know, that doesn't really matter. He'll still get TKO'd. At least I think he should. Nice try, brother. But that doesn't work for me, brother. There we go. Well, we are now the Southwestern champion, folks. So now we just gotta do one more defending match, and I am glad that they didn't carry over the defeat 5 people in the defending match thing that they had in Attitude.
His opponent, hailing from the Fiji Islands, standing at 6 feet and tipping the scales at an amazing 260 pounds, former World Heavyweight Champion and Wrestling Hall of Famer, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Alright, Jimmy Superfly Snuka. Well, there's a lot of controversial characters on this episode. Not to mention my guy, you know, Hulk Hogan is pretty controversial himself, but definitely, I don't know, I guess that's just the phrase, you know, you either die a hero or you live long enough to become the villain or something like that, but I don't know, I just like to look at these guys as their on-screen presence and personalities and stuff like that. And I don't know, I feel like I don't talk about it often, but I think I brought up politics and on my channels a little too often, so I'll just leave it at that before I rant anything stupid. What the hell is the floor, by the way? Is that like mud, like a rodeo, or is that wood? I can't tell because the texture is so very light, but I think it's mud. And if it is, that's that's pretty wild. But it would make sense because it would fit, you know, the aesthetic of the territory. Alright, now we got the trash can. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get through this one real quick so that way, you know, next episode we can start, of course, the United States tour. And like I said, I don't know how long that's gonna take. That could be like 3 or 4 episodes or something like that for all I know. But hopefully it's nothing like super crazy or something like that. Like I gotta beat everybody in the game at some point. Alright, well, we started this old game again. The never-ending loop. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna let him win this one. God damn it, he won this one. Yeah, it just gets to the point where it's so fast and so thin, and it's a pain in the ass too, because like you look at my bar and it's like paper thin, the timing I had to hit, you know, with the green bar, and then you look at theirs and it feels like it's getting bigger sometimes. I swear to God, as it goes on. Yeah, that's what you get for that whole ordeal. So I guess I just gotta watch what moves I pull off. Alright, we got the leg drop, so hopefully we might be able to put this one away quick. Let's get that extra like healing stuff off of him a little bit. Goddamn rope break. Yeah, see, I love playing as Hulk Hogan in this game. I was going to play as Rob Van Dam, but I love that Hulk Hogan has a few more ready moves. Rob Van Dam only has like his kick combo, which is awesome, but you know, I like the ready moves because like you can't really reverse them at all. So it's kind of overpowered. Oh, I thought I hit the ref for a second there. Alright, bear hug. Let's see, can we put him away? Come on, you can tap. Oh, damn it, no he didn't. Goddamn stupid Hawaiian headbutts. I don't know, this match. I love when the AI just accidentally knocks down the ref. Yeah, don't want to mess with a man that headbutted a coconut. That's just one of the craziest things from back in the day. Goddamn coconut. God damn it. I need to get my hand on that guitar to finish this. If he would just stay down for 5 goddamn seconds. Oh my gosh, I just want to put him away here. Alright. Alright, we got him now, folks. There's no way he's not tapping here. We got him. Thank you guys so much for watching. And if you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out next episode on Wrestling Wednesday next week, where we're going to be, you know, touring the United States as a whole as a United States champion. Fuck you, minimal combos. But above all else, please remember to have a nice day. Man, that belt's a beaut.